Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a man who changed the world without picking up a weapon. A man who fought hate with love and injustice with peace. His name was Martin Luther King Jr., and he was one of the greatest leaders in the history of humanity. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He was born into a world where people were judged not by their character, but by the color of their skin. In those days, America was divided by racial segregation. Black people and white people had to live separately. They couldn't go to the same schools, eat in the same restaurants, or even drink water from the same fountains. Even as a child, Martin saw how unfair this was. One day, his white friend told him he could no longer play with him because his parents didn't want him spending time with a black boy. That moment hurt young Martin deeply, but it also opened his eyes to the cruelty of racism. Martin was very intelligent. He skipped grades in school and entered college when he was just 15 years old. He studied hard and later earned a doctorate in theology from Boston University. That's why people called him Dr. King. After completing his studies, Martin became a Baptist minister just like his father. But he wasn't only a preacher, he was a man with a mission. He believed that his faith should guide people not only to heaven, but also to justice on earth. In 1955, an event took place that would change Martin's life forever. In the city of Montgomery, Alabama, a brave woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus for a white passenger. She was arrested. That simple act of courage sparked a movement, and Martin Luther King Jr. became its leader. He organized the Montgomery Bus Boycott, where black citizens refused to ride the buses for 381 days. They walked miles every day to work and school, despite threats, attacks, and arrests. Finally, after more than a year of struggle, the Supreme Court declared that segregation on buses was unconstitutional. It was a huge victory for justice, and Martin Luther King Jr. became the voice of the civil rights movement. But his journey was not easy. He was arrested more than 20 times. His house was bombed. He received death threats almost every day. Yet he never gave up. He always said, "Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Dr. King believed in nonviolence. He was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi of India. He believed that true power comes from peace, not from anger. Through his leadership, millions of Americans, black and white, marched together, sang together, and stood together for equality. The most powerful moment of his life came on August 28, 1963. In Washington, D.C., over 250,000 people gathered near the Lincoln Memorial to hear him speak. That's when he delivered one of the most famous speeches in history, the "I Have a Dream" speech. He said, "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed, that all men are created equal." He dreamed of a world where his children would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That dream touched the hearts of millions, not just in America, but around the world. Because of his courage and leadership, the U.S. government passed the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which made racial discrimination illegal. In that same year, Martin Luther King Jr. became the youngest person ever to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. But even after all that success, he didn't stop. He started to speak for the poor, against war and for peace among all nations. Sadly, his journey ended too soon. On April 4, 1968, while standing on the balcony of a motel in Memphis, Tennessee, Dr. King was assassinated. He was only 39 years old. The world wept. But his voice, his message, and his dream did not die. Today, more than 50 years later, his words still echo in our hearts. In America, every third Monday of January is celebrated as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day to honor his life and his message of love, equality, and peace. Dr. King once said, "The time is always right to do what is right." His dream continues to inspire people of every color, every religion, and every country. He taught us that change begins not with violence, but with courage and compassion. He showed us that one person, one brave, determined person that can change the world. So, my friends, let's not just remember Martin Luther King Jr. Let's live his dream. Let's build a world where everyone is free, equal, and respected. Because the best way to honor him is to keep his dream alive, in our hearts and in our actions.